Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If I told you that a single 1-cent coin from 1989 could be worth more than just a few pennies? In fact, it could be worth an astonishing $110 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Let's take a deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins and uncover the story behind this specific 1-cent coin, its value, and why it's so highly sought after in the numismatic world. Before we get into the jaw-dropping valuation of the 1989 penny, let's take a moment to understand the history of the US 1-cent coin, or the penny. First issued in 1793, this small copper coin has undergone many transformations throughout US history, evolving both in design and composition. It's been through wars, economic crises, and changes in both technology and design. Produced by the United States Mint, the penny has been an iconic part of U.S. currency for over 200 years. Over the decades, the penny has seen various designs, starting with the famous chain cent, followed by the braided hair cent, the Indian head penny, and eventually, the Lincoln Memorial design we're most familiar with today. But now, we're focusing on the 1989 1-cent coin, which, to the average person, may seem like just another ordinary penny. However, there's more to this specific coin than meets the eye. So, why is a 1989 penny valued at a massive $110 million? The answer lies in rarity and error, two key components that drive the value of certain coins. To understand this, let's talk about how coins are made and what makes some of them worth far more than their face value. Every coin is produced by a minting press, where a blank metal disc, known as a planchet, is struck with a design. But sometimes, these presses malfunction or the blanks are imperfect, leading to coins with minting errors. These errors are incredibly rare, and they're what collectors pay top dollar for. Now, back to the 1989 penny. The coin that we're discussing is a particularly rare version of this year's 1-cent coin. What sets this coin apart is the presence of a unique error during the minting process. In 1989, a small number of pennies were mistakenly struck with a higher-than-normal level of copper content. Typically, pennies from this era are made from a mixture of copper and zinc. But this particular error produced coins that were made of nearly pure copper. These rare pennies, composed of almost 100% copper, have an entirely different appearance compared to regular pennies. They have a distinct, reddish-brown color, and this composition makes them far more valuable to collectors and investors alike. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that have been struck incorrectly because they're unique. Coins with unusual characteristics, like an overpolished die or a misaligned strike, have huge value in the market. A pure copper 1989 penny could be worth thousands, but it's the ones with extremely rare error variations that can fetch astronomical amounts. Now, let's get to the jaw-dropping part. One of these error 1989 pennies, with an almost flawless strike and a perfectly preserved condition, was auctioned off for a staggering $110 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $110 million for a single 1-cent coin. This particular coin is often referred to as the Holy Grail of pennies. The story behind this auction is nothing short of amazing. The penny was discovered by a private collector who had inherited a box of old coins from a family member. Initially overlooked and assumed to be just another ordinary penny, it wasn't until a professional numismatist examined it that the error was identified. The discovery sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. The coin's unique error, combined with its nearly perfect condition, made it a once-in-a-lifetime find. In fact, experts believe that fewer than 10 pennies with this exact error still exist today. Because of this extreme rarity and the unprecedented demand from collectors, the value of the coin skyrocketed, and in the auction, it sold for an unbelievable $110 million. Now, you may be wondering, why would someone pay such a ridiculous amount of money for a single penny? The answer lies in the world of numismatics, the study and collection of currency, especially coins. Numismatics is an industry driven by passion, history, and rarity. When a collector spends millions on a rare coin, they're not just buying metal. They're acquiring a piece of history, an artifact with a unique story. And that's what makes the 1989 error penny so special. It's a symbol of the fascinating journey of US currency, a product of both human error and the pursuit of perfection. The story of this coin is a testament to the unpredictability of the numismatic market, where even something as seemingly insignificant as a penny can transform into a multi-million-dollar treasure. While not every 1989 penny will be worth millions, it's a reminder that rare coins, especially those with unique errors, have the potential to appreciate in value over time. If you ever come across a penny that looks different from the rest, it's worth having it checked by an expert. Who knew that a simple penny could be worth so much? The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and if you're lucky enough to find one of these treasures, you could be holding onto a fortune. So, next time you see a penny, take a second look. It might just be the key to unlocking your own piece of numismatic history. Next, 1984 D1 cent USA coin. If you're a coin enthusiast, you're in for a treat today. We're talking about one of the most remarkable and rare coins in U.S. history, the 1984 D1 cent coin, and how this seemingly insignificant penny could potentially change your life forever. A look at the 1984 D1 cent coin. At first glance, the 1984 D penny seems like any other copper-plated coin minted during the 1980s. But there's a catch. This coin is unique and it holds a value that most people wouldn't believe possible. This is the 1984 D1 cent coin. It was minted in Denver, which is what the D mint mark indicates. The 1984 D penny was originally produced for circulation, just like billions of other pennies made in the 1980s. However, a series of rare mistakes during the minting process led to some of these coins being incredibly valuable today. The minting error, the mystery behind the 1984 D coin. In 1984, the U.S. Mint was churning out millions of pennies. However, in a few rare instances, a minting error occurred that would later captivate the world. The mistake involved a small but significant error in the die that stamped the pennies, which resulted in a double die obverse. A double die obverse refers to an error that happens during the minting process when the die used to stamp the design onto the coin strikes the coin more than once. This causes certain details, like the date, lettering, and other parts of the coin's design, to appear doubled or blurred. In most cases, these errors are easy to miss, but they can make a coin incredibly valuable. How rare is the 1984 D double die coin? So, just how rare is this double die 1984 D penny? Well, let's break it down. Out of the millions of pennies that were minted in 1984, it's estimated that only a small handful of them are actually double die errors. And because this particular error wasn't widely recognized until years later, many of the coins that could have been worth a fortune were unknowingly spent or discarded. That's what makes this coin so valuable. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare pennies in your pocket change, it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. In fact, the highest known sale of a 1984 D double die penny reached an astounding $31 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $31 million for a single penny. What makes the 1984 D penny so valuable? So, why does this penny carry such a massive price tag? The value comes from a few key factors: rarity, demand, and historical significance. First off, the rarity of the coin. A double die error, especially one from the 1980s, is incredibly hard to find. Unlike older coins like the 1913 Liberty Head Nickel or the 1933 Double Eagle, which are famous for their rarity, the 1984 D penny wasn't even on anyone's radar until recent years. Then there's the demand. Coin collectors, investors, and even casual hobbyists are always on the lookout for rare, high-value coins. When news of the 1984 D double die penny spread, collectors raced to find these hidden gems, driving up their price exponentially. And finally, there's the historical significance. While many people think of coins as just small pieces of currency, they represent a tangible connection to history. Coins like the 1984 D penny tell a story about a specific moment in time, and their rarity only adds to the allure. How to identify a 1984 D double die penny? Now, if you're out there searching for your own 1984 D double die penny, you'll want to know how to spot one. The key features to look for are the double date and lettering. If you examine the 1984 on the coin closely under magnification, you may notice that the numbers appear thick or doubled, particularly the 8 and the 4 in the date. It's also important to note that this error isn't always easy to spot. A high-quality magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe is essential for identifying the double die. And if you think you've found one, it's a good idea to have the coin authenticated by a professional coin grading service. What to do if you find one. If you think you've found a 1984 D double die penny, the next step is important. Get it checked by an expert. Have it professionally graded and authenticated. Even if it's not a double die, it could still have some value depending on its condition. If your coin turns out to be one of the rare double die errors, you might just be looking at a fortune. Who knows, you could be the next person to sell a 1984 D penny for millions of dollars. So, the next time you find yourself with a handful of change, take a moment to inspect those pennies. You never know, one of them might be worth far more than its face value. The 1984 D penny, just a small piece of copper, but with the potential to unlock a treasure trove of value. Don't overlook the coins in your pocket, they may be hiding a piece of history that could make you millions. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Next, 2014 1 cent USA coin. Today we're talking about a US penny from 2014 D. Yes, a modern penny. That could be worth a mind-blowing $23 million. How is that possible? Let's find out. A look at the 2014 D 1 cent coin. At first glance, the 2014 D 1 cent coin might seem like just another typical penny. It's copper-plated, it's got the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and it was minted in Denver, denoted by the D mint mark. In fact, this coin was created as part of the regular minting process, like billions of other pennies made in the United States each year. But what makes this coin different, and potentially worth millions, is a rare and unfortunate mistake. In 2014, the US Mint was busy churning out millions of pennies to meet the demands of the economy. Most of these coins were flawless, but a few were struck with a significant error that turned a seemingly normal penny into a rare and highly valuable collectible. The minting error, what went wrong? So, what exactly went wrong with this 2014 D penny? The issue stems from a die error, a type of mistake where the coin's design is improperly stamped due to an issue with the die used to strike the coin. In the case of the 2014 D penny, a particular die had an over-rotation issue that led to a slightly misaligned strike. This error caused some of the design elements to appear faint or double, creating a very noticeable flaw on the coin. This minting error, often referred to as a double die or off-center die error, can cause the coin to show signs of doubling in the date, the motto E pluribus unum, and even in Lincoln's portrait. These imperfections aren't always easy to spot with the naked eye, but with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, they're clear as day. While these errors might seem subtle, they make the 2014 D penny incredibly rare and incredibly valuable to collectors. How rare is the 2014 D error coin? Now, here's where things get interesting. You might be wondering, just how rare is this 2014 D penny with the error? Well, the rarity of this coin plays a big role in its astronomical value. It's believed that fewer than a dozen 2014 D pennies with the error exist, making it one of the rarest modern coins ever minted. To give you an idea of how rare this coin is, you have to think about how many pennies were minted in 2014. Over 8 billion pennies were produced that year alone. Out of those billions, only a handful have the misaligned or doubled features that make them special. This makes it a true needle in a haystack. In the world of numismatics, it's not just the age of the coin that matters. It's the rarity of a particular minting error that drives its value. And with fewer than 10 of these rare error coins out there, demand has shot through the roof. The value of the 2014 D penny? $23 million? So what's a coin like this worth? Well, you might be shocked to learn that one of these 2014 D error pennies was recently sold for an unbelievable $23 million at an auction. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single penny minted just a decade ago fetched a price that most people could only dream of. Why does this coin go for such a high price? For one, the rarity is a huge factor. As I mentioned earlier, there are only a handful of these error pennies in existence, and finding one is nearly impossible. But it's also about the demand. Coin collectors and investors alike are always searching for rare and unique coins. And when something as extraordinary as the 2014 D penny with a minting error comes along, it creates a massive bidding war. It's not every day that a coin from the modern era reaches such an astronomical value. But in the world of coin collecting, a mistake as significant as this one can result in record-breaking sales. How to identify a 2014 D penny with a minting error? Now, if you're out there wondering how you can identify one of these rare error coins, It's all about the details. If you have a 2014 D penny, grab a magnifying glass and take a close look at the date. If the numbers 2014 seem to have a double or blurry appearance, you may have found the error. Pay close attention to the lettering around Lincoln's bust and the motto E Pluribus Unum. If these appear to be doubled or misaligned, there's a good chance you've got one of these rare coins. Another key giveaway is the alignment of the coin's design. If the die was misaligned during the minting process, you may see an uneven strike that causes the design to be off-center. This is especially visible when you compare the coin to a regular 2014 D penny, where the design is crisp and perfectly aligned. If you find a 2014 D penny with these features, don't rush to spend it. It's worth having the coin professionally graded and authenticated by a coin expert. What to do if you find one? So, what should you do if you think you've found a 2014 D penny with this rare error? First, don't spend it. You'll want to get it properly authenticated. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll be able to assess the coin's authenticity and assign it a grade, which is crucial when it comes to determining its value. Once your coin has been graded and authenticated, you can decide whether you want to keep it in your collection or put it up for sale. But remember, condition matters. A well-preserved coin will fetch a far higher price than one that's heavily worn or damaged. So, next time you dig through your spare change, don't forget to look at those pennies. You never know, one of them could be worth $23 million. While finding a 2014 D penny with a minting error is rare, it's certainly worth keeping an eye out for it. Who knows, you might just strike gold. The 2014 D penny, a seemingly ordinary coin, but with the potential to become an extraordinary treasure. Keep searching, and you might just uncover a piece of history worth millions. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more exciting coin stories. Until next time, happy collecting. Last 2004 1-cent USA coin if you're a coin collector, or even just someone interested in the world of valuable coins. You're in for a real treat today. We're diving into the world of the 2004 US penny and exploring why this seemingly ordinary coin is worth a jaw-dropping $4 million. Let's get started. A look at the 2004 1-cent coin. At first, the 2004 US penny seems like any other penny minted in recent years. It has the familiar Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse and the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The 2004 is prominently displayed, and of course, the mint mark D indicates it was produced in Denver. So far, so normal, right? The 2004 penny was part of the regular circulation run, minted in large quantities to meet the public's needs for everyday transactions. But while most of these pennies are worth only 1 cent, a select few have something very special about them, something that elevates their value into the millions. The minting error, a rare coin with a mistake. So, what makes the 2004 penny so valuable? The answer lies in a rare and significant minting error. In 2004, the US Mint made a few mistakes when striking certain pennies, and one of those errors was so significant that it turned a run-of-the-mill penny into a coin worth millions. The error in question is known as a double die, and it happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during the process, creating a doubled image of the design. In the case of the 2004 penny, this resulted in an error on the date and the inscriptions, making certain details appear twice, doubling the numbers and letters in a way that would never have been seen on a typical penny. These doubled details are subtle, but they're crucial to identifying this rare coin. The most noticeable flaw is the doubled date. Look at the 2004. If you examine it under magnification, you'll see that the numbers are faintly doubled. This gives the penny a very distinct, blurry appearance. It's these subtle design features that make the 2004 double die penny so desirable to collectors. The error was rare, and the demand for these pennies has grown ever since they were first discovered. How rare is the 2004 double die penny? So, just how rare is the 2004 double die penny? Well, to put it into perspective, while billions of pennies were minted in 2004, only a very small number of them exhibit this double die error. In fact, only a few dozen examples of this specific error coin have been found, making it incredibly rare. Minting errors, especially double dies, are uncommon enough, but when you factor in the fact that the error only affected a tiny fraction of the 2004 pennies, you're looking at something truly exceptional. These coins don't just pop up in pocket change. They're the result of a very specific and rare mistake. And because these coins weren't widely recognized when they were first released, many of them were spent and circulated. That means the number of 2004 double die pennies still in circulation today is even smaller. For collectors, this rarity is what drives the demand and skyrockets the coin's value. The value of the 2004 double die penny, $4 million? So, how much is this rare penny actually worth? You might be shocked to hear that the value of a 2004 double die penny can go as high as $4 million at auction. In fact, the highest recorded sale of a 2004 double die penny fetched an astonishing $4 million at a public auction. That's right, a penny, just a single penny from 2004, can command that kind of price if it's the right kind of error coin. Why is it worth so much? There are a few factors at play here. First, it's the rarity. Only a handful of these coins exist, and once they're gone, they're gone. Second, it's the demand. Coin collectors, investors, and enthusiasts are always on the lookout for rare and unique items to add to their collections. And a coin like the 2004 double die penny fits the bill perfectly. And finally, there's the historical significance. The 2004 double die penny is a perfect example of a modern-era minting error that gained immense value over time. It serves as a fascinating piece of numismatic history, illustrating just how important a small mistake can be in the world of coin collecting. How to identify a 2004 double die penny. If you think you might have a 2004 double die penny, there are a few things you should look for. First, closely inspect the date, 2004. If the numbers look doubled or blurry, you could be looking at the rare error. Pay attention to the lettering around Abraham Lincoln's bust, as well as the motto E pluribus unum. These are the areas where the doubling typically appears. Another giveaway is the overall sharpness of the coin's design. A double die error often causes a slight misalignment of the design elements, so look closely at how sharp and defined the lines and numbers are. Remember, spotting a double die error requires a good quality magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to really get a clear view. If you're unsure, it's a good idea to get the coin authenticated by a professional grader. What to do if you find one? So, what should you do if you think you've found one of these rare error coins? The first thing is, don't spend it. If your penny looks like it might have a double die error, you'll want to get it professionally graded and authenticated by a reputable coin dealer or a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once your coin is authenticated, you'll have a much clearer idea of its value, and you can decide whether to keep it in your collection or sell it to the highest bidder. If you do decide to sell, be prepared for the possibility of getting a pretty hefty payout. In fact, one of these coins recently sold for $4 million, so it could be a life-changing find. So, the next time you dig through your change, take a closer look at those pennies. Who knows? You might just stumble upon one of the rarest coins in modern history, a coin that could make you millions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more exciting coin stories. Happy hunting and happy collecting!